with B-Bad and Brandon.
How do we recover? How's the feels after the epic awards evening?
Bro, it's been fuck, we got a really obviously firstly thank you for being up there presenting awards to our community. For those who don't know, Johnny was our first Team Member of the Year award back when we started the awards evening in 2020, just before COVID. So
2020.
it was awesome to have yourself and the GOAT Ricky Goodyear up there presenting awards to our community. I think that was very special for us.
Yeah,
But
so cool.
overall, the feel for the night was unreal. Like fucking great party, good community as always, and just like a lot of good times. Like I think that's the best thing. It's just a great opportunity for us to get together and chat. But the food was good. Everyone was
It was
really,
great.
I
Chicken
guess
and steak.
the best way to put it was just be honoured to be there, which was nice.
I thought it was sick. That's what I'll sum it up in
The
one
chicken
word.
and steak were good.
That was sensational. The steak was spot on. I don't know how a
Steak's
kitchen
good.
manages to create so many steaks and chickens so perfectly at the exact right time that many people need to eat steak and chicken.
Yeah,
That would stress me
I
out.
think that's 100% would, and that's why I just stick to coaching. Definitely not. I definitely do not belong in a kitchen unless it's for one person, and that my person may be myself or my wife.
I had an
Good,
idea.
man.
I had an idea with Sam. We should have a throwback Wednesday crew session. And it could be a cross time zone Wednesday crew. So even night crew and day crew should do a throwback sesh and get together for a big one.
How incredible would that be?
I think it'd be sick. I'm sure all of us probably need 8 to 15 weeks notice so that we can ensure we're appropriately peaked. Because I ain't coming in to fucking do sets of 8s on some subpar exercise.
No,
Want to come in and move something
that would
heavy.
be intense. That'd be really cool, actually.
I think that'd be sick.
The gym would be packed with like nearly 30 people.
It'd be huge.
More.
It'd be huge.
Oh God!
So I was trying to work out because I know I did my first session. I'm sure I was there maybe the last week or two of campus existing. No, of Cube existing. Sorry, not campus. And I was trying to work out with Callum when that was.
2015. We moved in 2016.
2016 moved into
campus.
Must have been early in 16 maybe.
Yeah, it was very early 16 because it was pretty much like we came back from Christmas break and then bam, straight move.
Yep.
And
yeah, because I feel like I did a sesh there with some fella, and then I'm almost certain because I was like, yeah, we're catching up next week, blah blah blah, and maybe I did do another sesh, possibly, and then it was like, no, we're over at this place now.
Yeah, that's right. It was a pretty quick transition, and then I remember like. You know, like a lot of those OGs are still kicking around. Like Tyler Small's now training under yourself. Mitch McKinnon's hanging around. I think Zero Southside. Like they're all still lifting. So I think so.
Mitch is
Last
still
time I
around.
saw him, he was at Zero, and I don't know how he's held together with like knee wraps and bloody. Fucking, I don't know how he keeps moving.
That's cool.
But he is.
Yeah, because I used to be in a group. It was with Mitch and Tyler. We were in a group together. It was mad fun.
I'm pretty sure Langy was there too for a couple of the sessions.
Langy was kicking around. He was kicking around, and I couldn't remember the dude's name, but the dude had the bacon truck out the front.
Oh, Liam.
Yeah.
Liam Gardner, the old bacon truck. God, that was good.
Fuck, it's a good bacon truck.
Bloody oath, and you used to roll out, get a bacon and egg roll, have a coffee, and you just pay your tab at the end of the week. Simpler times, bruh. Simpler times.
Yeah, it was good. But yeah, I think you should recruit a throwback epic event training session. And everyone can rip in.
Yeah, and we'll create a 12-week training plan to peak at this right exact time, so we all come in, hit our heaviest single known, and then just fucking have a feed.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And we just
I reckon if you did it somewhere mid-year, regardless of what everyone's gunning for, mid-year everyone's moving some weight, whether they're competing in a nationals, an invite comp, or a local comp.
Something.
I reckon everyone's doing something strong. ish.
Not a bad idea.
Or at least they're not that under. Like right now, fuck, I'm that underprepared. I wouldn't be ready for anything. But at least you'd be at least prepared to do something.
I reckon I could pull out a pretty decent front squat right now, and that's about it.
That's alright. As long as you full send, that could be the buy-in for the event. You must full send. Doesn't matter on the movement.
I fucking nearly full send my front squats the other day, and I felt like, you know, when something
What'd you
looks
hit?
worse than I hit 120 for 5,
Oh
and
man.
coming out of the bottom, it's like the last rep. I honestly felt like it. I felt like I was fucking folded over, elbows on knees, and like then I look back at the video, I'm like, oh my god, it's barely any sort of flexion there. But Jesus, it felt. Front squats are so hard.
Oh, they're brutal. I love hate them.
I know that's not really a big exclusive on our podcast, but front squats really suck.
Yeah, I think they're brutal, bro. I think they're nasty.
Oh.
Particularly if you do more than 2. Like, I feel like 2 was good. Because, like, you know, it should fucking choke you and be uncomfortable. So, like, the idea of holding that position for more than 1 or 2, like, is fucking hard and it sucks. And they're so unforgiving. Like, you fall out of shape on rep 3, like, the next 2 are going to be unforgiving.
And you just can't get, like, decent air in, especially, like,
there is no
because I've been really honing this front rack position, and when that bar's up against your neck, it's like crushing your fucking windpipe, and you just really struggle to get a break. Like, I did find breathing through my nose a little bit more effective, like, and then trying to get a little bit more through my mouth. But honestly, if when you're on that rep 4, rep 5, possibly more if you're sadistic, you're trying to gulp in air, mate. It ain't going in through your mouth. You really got to start prioritizing that nasal breath and pushing it into that diaphragm. Fuck me, it was hard.
I love fronts.
What do you prefer though?
Like, I think they're the forgotten exercise.
I think they are too. I'd agree. And like, I was gonna, my next question would be, which one would you prefer to program? You know, the specifics of our sport, a Zercher or a front squat. So obviously both inferior loaded, both.
Yeah, I lean on the Zercher at the moment. That's probably my favourite.
Yeah, right.
I like that because it really forces you to brace and pull yourself down and lock your ribs down. I like the fact you don't need as much weight as well to do it. So, like, if I've programmed it, let's say 3rd exercise, you're starting to manage the amount of load that person's like physically just moving through space and time as well. That's probably my favourites, and I think they're badass. There's something about the Zercher that builds a little bit of resilience that I like. It fucking hurts. It hurts your elbow ditch. It hurts your fucking bicep. It's uncomfortable and shitty. But in saying that, I'll probably run Zerchers for a year this year, and then I'll rotate back to front squat because I am aware that you can't go to the well for too long, so to speak.
Yeah. I think I like Zerchers in an off season where we're not benching as heavy, not having a low bar squat perhaps, just because again, as you mentioned, that elbow and bicep, I think any irritation there can cause more issues further down. And definitely when we're like in a comp prep, I probably lean more towards a safety bar, to be honest. Actually, now I think about it, over a front squat, but
yeah, for sure. Safety bar's just easy.
Still tough. Still wants to bend you forward, but obviously you just don't have that load going through those elbows and shoulders as much. It's just nicer for in-season work. And then like any sort of athlete though that comes through, like field-based athlete, we're front squatting. We're front squatting.
Yeah.
For like just that extended position and staying stacked with the torso, rib cage, that front rack obviously going to help open up that lat as well, or just being in that position is going to help open up your lat because you got to obviously drive with your elbows. But just the power development that you can get from learning to stay stacked, pushing through the floor in a very upright torso position, that's going to carry over whether you're a sprinter, fucking jumper, thrower. Like front squat's a king for that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think front squats play a huge part. But yeah, comp stuff. Yeah, if we're close to comp, I like safety bucks. It's just easy. Easy on the shoulders, easy on the elbows. You're still getting the same challenge you want maybe out of a high bar or a front squat. It's just fucking easier, a little bit less complex to be able to throw it.
I think it also, like, from the athlete perspective, takes out thinking. Like, they don't have to think. Like, we're making him think less about, what position they have to be in. We go, cool, just stay locked in tight, get your legs working overtime so you can really push some output if you are, like fucking,
Yep.
you've done 5 sets of squats, they're wrapped. Bro, you don't want to think for another second after that.
No, if you just
You
want
want
some
some easy
squats, just
stuff,
do
just
that.
get in, get it done. Mm-hmm.
Probably my exercises at the moment, I quite like a Zercher lunge. That's featuring.
Oof, you are sadistic.
That's featuring. I like that.
Fuck.
That's
We're
nasty.
utilizing
People don't love that one.
a goblet reverse lunge at the moment with the Redcliffe boys for some unilateral work. But again,
reverse lunge. I love reverse
upright
lunge.
torso position. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
it's
I
something
like
I haven't
those
really
things.
thought about.
Yeah, the reverse lunge, I picked that one up off Doc Locke back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
He liked it for like glute drive stuff.
Mm.
And he'd do it. His was basic. I think he had it as one of his, well, for me anyway, it was one of the warm-up modalities that was in
right.
my programming. But I've always liked that reverse lunge is nice. But I love anything front-loaded, particularly anyone who's struggling with the concept of bracing and stacking. Like, if you throw the weight in front, you almost have to.
It's done for you. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a really good.
I think
it works great 2 ways. One, it works great for low skill people who don't understand it, and then 2, it's great for high skill because it just reminds you and teaches you how to do it. So like, we still got to continue to get better at it.
100%. I think the basics matter, and then you can just go. Someone who is more high skilled, you can just go, sweet, we're hitting this, say front squat and anything interior loaded, just go because they've got the basics. We have to focus on the basics. They know they can do it, and we go, look, let's just get 8-10 reps quality here. That's your output work, and then your skills all knocked off in the first 2 stuff anyway.
Yep. Yeah, and then I
swing
think
in that pendulum.
Then the often maybe thing not considered that clients aren't robots and they like variation. So chopping and changing between Zercher to front squat to whatever it is, maybe it's not too different from each other, but at least on their training program, you're not just being a boring coach and just writing the same fucking shit. You're actually giving them something different for them to enjoy.
100%. Variety's going to keep them more buy-in. They're going to keep them coming up and showing up because there's interest in, like, it could be as simple, like we do it a lot now with Redcliffe leading into in-season. We'll just every few weeks just still do the same pattern, but we might go from a seated alternating one-arm shoulder press to like a half kneeling single-arm shoulder press. So we're still getting that overhead exposure, but still progressing, or even sometimes we regress and just make sure that we are getting certain exposures through the shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles.
Yeah, I think that's important. Like, that's something I even look at my program is like, particularly when you get accessory stuff, it'd be pretty easy just to be almost, lack of a better word, cut and paste the last 3 exercises from whatever main group you're doing because you're just looking for a bit of hypertrophy and maybe a little bit of something, right? But don't be lazy. Just change it around just a little bit for them. There's many ways to skin the cat, and you can see the enjoyment and the buy-in that person has on their accessories just through that change. Like what I had someone in the gym this week, and they're doing some core exercise, and they're just searching for something a bit different because it was switching week, deload week. And I was like, fuck, why don't you do some windmills? When was the last time you did some of them? Like the old kettlebell upstairs, twist and turn, grab your toe and go back up. And like, fuck, I haven't done them for ages. I said, fuck, do some windmills for core today. And you could see the instant buy-in changing to these exercises versus the plank pull through I think they were doing. Like they were bored and not really, putting any care into it. All of a sudden they're doing this thing, actually giving a shit about how they were moving and doing it. And get some great work out of it. And all it was just a change in exercise.
Makes a massive difference. And I think we can undervalue because, like, yes, we do need to measure progression. We do need to see, and we know consistency brings those results, but adding a little bit of variety is just going to help, like, really create that buy-in, as you said, but keep it interesting for them. And as, like, just fucking letting them rip into something new, challenging them. And it could just be simple, like, as you said, changing 1 or 2 accessories, because you know what? Like, yes, there's going to be some different adaptations and stimulus provided between a bent over row and a pendlay row. But at the end of the day, I'm still getting a stronger back.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, literally. And if switching the 2 out, like just chopping and changing the 2 of them every 4 or 5 weeks, and just means that they train that one movement with more intensity because it changes, you'll get far more value out of that than what they would just banging away at the same thing by week 5, just being over it and just fucking greasing the wheels.
100%.
And how good is Pendlay rows? I fucking love Pendlay rows.
Another forgotten exercise, bro.
I love them.
Like
I program the fuck out of them.
Oh man, I reckon you'd be obviously there. See, I still put them in that kind of like old school era of powerlifting where you just see big fucking burly men ripping these massive weights from the floor with a belt on, and people are like, "Oh, is that a row?" Whatever. But I reckon the old school coaches are the ones that really know how to get the bang for buck out of a program and just know how to really utilize time and the space they've got.
Yeah. Man, you look at Cone. Cone talks about he liked chins and he liked rows. And that's what he liked to do. And he did chins and he did rows. And he got a fucking big back. Pretty strong too, right?
One of the best.
Yeah.
One of the absolute best.
Man, me personally, and that's what I grew up powerlifting with chins and rows. This is definitely off topic from where we started, but we chinned and rowed. This probably falls more into the gap of we did it every fucking week. Regardless, like there was other things on the other side of it, but when we fucking deadlifted, we did wide grip chins with a fucking pinch grip on a fucking metal rafter. You had to jump up to get to it. If you couldn't jump, you got bullied because you had to use a step. So you jump so you didn't get bullied, and then we'd do barbell rows, wide grip. When they started getting heavy, you'd start fucking pendulaying them because you needed to put more weight on every week.
But like it works.
Yeah, it worked great. And then of course, then the stuff. Then we change around what we did at the end between being fucking cooked or wanting something a little bit different, and pull down variations, whatever else was going on. But then we had fucking buy-in on the other things.
But it's like talking about Ed Cohen and how he's like, he did the chins, he did the rows and all stuff. Like there's so many different variations of rows and chin ups. Like you can do wide grip, neutral grip, all this stuff. So he's talked about cycling them. But what I really loved with Eddie was that he progressed every one of those exercises. I remember sitting in one of the seminars and like, it didn't even think to occur to me, like, why don't I peak or, it doesn't have to be a full 1 rep max on, say, your front squat if it's an accessory to your back squat, but why don't I peak that to a heavy triple as well? And he just talks about it and made so much sense. It was just about being strong everywhere. If you got strong quads, strong knees, it'd be perfect.
Yeah, and track it too. Like, even down to little things. Like if last training block you did leg extensions at 50 kilos for 20s at the end of your training run. Like, fuck, next one, you should track your leg extensions. So hopefully you're doing 55 kilos at the end of it, right? Because like all those little ones, they start adding up.
100%. And like, we don't push hard. I think I made a post the other week or something about it. Like, we overestimate what we can do in our main work and severely underestimate how heavy and how far we can push our accessories.
Yeah.
Like, and it comes back to what we've spoken about before. Like, not many people will train to a true 2 rep in reserve. Like, fucking, if I'm doing lateral raise or something, I'm going for a 2 rep in reserve. I should be getting those last like reps about fucking 3/4 of the way up and needing that extra almost swing. Like, then the 2 reps on top of that. Like, that's a 2 repper. You want to be fucking failing.
Yeah, you should train your accessories with the intent you train your main lifts, or at least even 3/4.
Yeah, like fuck. But I think it also comes from the way we program accessories, like, and that I think from the just the time we've always looked at. Oh well, bodybuilders are jacked. Let's get jacked. I got to do 4x8, 3x10, and all this sort of stuff. But like, if you're fucking going hard out with the 2 rep in reserve, man, 2 sets is enough. If you're going full ball to the wall, 2 sets of fucking lateral flies, some rear delts, some arms, you should have a pump. You should be fucking gassed if you are training to that high intensity. And I think we, obviously we're in that sciencey age, but mate, intensity will always trump, in my opinion, what the literature and science says. Like, if you can train hard, that is the first step to really acquiring strength and good muscle.
Yeah, you can worry about science later.
Yeah, it's like the whole notion of work hard, then work smarter, but then work hard again.
Yeah. I even like programming 1 set. Like, I got a theory, like, one's better than none. So, like, if I'm drawing up a program and I'm like, man, I really wish they did, I don't know, let's call it a bicep curl on this day.
Mm.
But I'm like, man, I've already given them a bit. Fuck, I'll just give them one set.
Yeah.
And you're like, I just need you to do that one set. I just want one set. Or you do a superset to finish it. It's like a bicep curl, tricep extension. Or fuck, doesn't even matter what the exercise are. You just put 2 1-set exercises in there that you feel that I feel are really important for that training session. But I'm fucking running out of time because there's so much other shit that's fucking important in that training session. It's fucking why not put one set in? I think people often they think, oh, if I can only do one, what's the point? Well, fucking one adds up. You do one a week, every week, 52 weeks. You've done 52 of that thing, moving you a bit closer to whatever the thing is.
100%, especially when it's like those little exercises that either look after your joints, look after your, the stability aspect of injury prevention. One set minimum is going to be beneficial. If you did one set, say 3 training sessions of like fucking core or something, it's better than doing 3 sets and not doing it at all.
Yeah, doing 0 core. Oh yeah.
100%. Just little exposures each and every week is just going to add up to a really good outcome.
That's why I even talk to the cherry pickers who, they've got to leave for whatever reason, whether they just don't want to do the accessories or they genuinely want to leave. It's like, well, don't cherry pick the 2 favorite things on there that you want to do and go home. Like, you've got 5 things to go, do 1 of each. And then you've got a little bit of everything, because obviously each exercise has got a reason to carry into something else there. So just do 1 of each instead of just doing your 2 favorite things that you're probably already good at. And then get out of there because you're in a hurry or whatever else you got on to do. I mean, what's more important?
My whole Wednesday
Mm.
gym session, my big session, is comprised of exercises that are so hard that I'm not good at and I don't want to do. Front squats, chin-ups, GHD to the full extension, and then either dips or push-ups like on blocks. I'm going more range. Just shit that is so hard.
Yeah.
And I do that and I'm out.
Yeah, nice. Get all the nasty stuff done on one day. That's a good topic. How underrated is a push-up?
Man, so underrated. So, like, this whole episode, this new episode title is going to be called Underrated Exercises. But, mate, and just like, because I've been, and it's something I picked up from our head of performance out of Dolphins. Like, we do a lot of uneven push-ups and all these different types just to get that exposure through your pec tendons, obviously prevent pec tears and stuff like that. Man, I've just been doing, because I've torn both pecs before and I don't want to do it again. I've had 2 in 1. So I'm just doing some very gentle push-ups through full range and even extended range just to, obviously, hopefully some break or some scar tissue start lengthening it out, but also look after my tendons, expose them to some very deep end range positions that when do we ever expose it to?
Yeah, totally agree. I love push-ups. I love programming them. I think they're fucking great.
100%.
I think in my own program, I'm doing push-ups off blocks, supersetted with chinnies after my main bench exercises. So full disclosure, I also find them boring and don't like them either. And my chin-ups suck because my shoulder sucks. So I put them right after the main thing instead of right at the fucking end. So I make sure I do them and then I get to move into the other exercises.
100%. Do the tough stuff now. The shit you hate, because they're the most rewarding ones. But I also believe, like, if you're a female lifter and you want to get a fucking huge bench,
do some push-ups.
Get really good at push-ups and get really good at chin-ups.
Yeah, totally agree.
Every time when I started coaching Brooke, so one of our other coaches, and we took chin-ups out of her program because May wanted to work something else, her bench would just start to stagnate after a couple of weeks. And I'm like, no, that's not it. We put chin-ups back in, and she could only get 1 unassisted, 2 unassisted maybe.
That's huge.
Now she's fucking repping 10. 10 straight good body weight ones, adding weight to it.
Mate, I always say to anyone, I've never met a bench that can't be improved by doing some push-ups. So and I really love it for a newer person who's not as generally strong as everybody else. I'm like, just do 20 a day for me. Like every day, wake up in the morning, do 20 push-ups. And if all you can do is knees, sick, do knees. Do them off your knees, do 20, do 10. And then once you've done your knees and your next thing you're doing, you're pressing off your toes, do 20 every day. Like the old, whatever the challenge was, push-up challenge. And like
Oh yeah, that
anyone
thing.
who is consistent with that, all of a sudden, because they're just improving general strength, right? You take someone
Improving
who
general
can't do it.
strength and fucking skill level and shoulder awareness and just improving your shoulder stability. Like push-ups are
Yeah, yeah,
again so underrated. I remember.
yeah.
Okay, here's an example that I reckon people will buy into. Lily
Mm,
Riley, I'm pretty sure, did fucking 10 straight push-ups with 40 or 50 kilos on her back.
yeah, get around that. Get around that. I'm
Work for
sure I
her.
read a. I'm sure I read a post was Jason Semiak. Is he spell his last name? The big bencher.
I think
He
so.
talked about
Yeah,
hitting
yeah.
100
Semler.
push-ups after. Semler, yeah, the guy who benched
Yeah, yeah.
like he was the guy in
Ridiculous.
Australia before
Yeah,
Coops came through. I'm sure I read a
yeah.
post of him saying how he'd do 100 push-ups every session. When he finished, he'd do
That
100.
would. I'd probably believe that too.
Yeah, 100%. And he was benching, I don't know what he benched, but it was fucking heaps. 290, 280.
280. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, yeah, right. And he'd do 100 after every session finish. And like, I'm going to assume his bench sessions were pretty fucking hectic. So to be able to then back up and have the general, strength, fitness, what do you want to call it, to press out 100 over however many sets, dude was benching some weights.
That muscular endurance. It'd be
Yeah, it's good
insane.
for him.
Oh,
Do some push-ups.
there you go. Do some
Yeah,
push-ups.
yeah. I think,
Do
yeah, I mean,
chins,
the
do
other thing,
push-ups, do front squats.
yeah, from a time perspective for all the busy humans out here, like if we're always on the quest for how do we fit a little extra in without having to put too much into it, like a couple of chins and push-ups every day, or just some push-ups, go a long way to
Fucking
moving your bench
oath.
along.
And
Yeah, and
improving
even,
all this.
yeah, yeah, exactly right. Like if you're doing them off the blocks, like how much more mobile is your chest getting so you can get a barbell on your shoulders?
Fucking oath. And just a chin up, a big strong back that will carry over to everything. Like we've fucking hummed on since day one of this body. Like big back equals big totals.
Oh yeah, back does everything.
Mhm.
Yeah, hell yeah. I miss doing heaps of chins. I used to love it.
Yeah, man.
I can now,
I
I can now
reckon
do two.
you're one of
I'm
the
very
first
excited.
athletes. You can do two now.
Yeah, which I'm stoked about. I could probably, yeah, I can only do two because my right shoulder's not stable enough to do any more than that yet. But I'm fucking
Hey,
stoked on the
two
fact that
is
I can do
two.
that again. Yeah,
Two is better than zero.
yeah, fuck yeah, because that's what I used to be able to do about a year ago.
I love it.
Yeah, I think more people need
So,
to do chins, right? Like I mean, you'd be the same. Even like I think a lot of people can't, right? Like in our world, a lot of people can, but generally speaking, a lot of people can't do chin ups. So that's their reason not can't do it, won't do it. Like I think a lot of people get a lot of value, and that's the thing I add now because we don't have a chin machine, which would be cool to have one. It's just assisted chins. Like even if it is the thickest fucking band in the gym or two of them. But all of a sudden, that person who really, is struggling with a chin, like getting them doing that and then progressing that slowly, they may never even get a chin, right? But if they, go from a big heavy blue down to a green over time, how good's that for them?
even start on basic and just get like a bar on a squat rack
Oh,
and do
old
some
school
inverted rows. Yeah.
barbell
And work your
inverted
way up to a
row.
chin up.
I love
Learning how
that
to
one.
control your body weight is fucking so important. If you can control your
Yep.
body throughout space, you can then control external barbells in space.
Yeah, man, I even like inverted row for me. I think that's sick. Even if
So
you
good.
can do chins, that's a lost
TRX row?
exercise, right? Oh, I
Yeah.
go ring rows, bro. I got the rings at home.
Yeah.
I do
Oh,
ring
even better.
rows at home.
The
Yeah,
pump you
that's my
get
favorite.
is insane.
Dude, triceps on it, rings. Secret exercise.
Oof, like
Yeah.
overhead?
Yes.
Whoa,
I'll do a
take me
ring
back.
row or a ring pull apart into a superset with a ring skull crusher.
Whoa, that's juicy.
That's the home sesh.
That is a juicy, juicy balcony sesh.
Yeah, it's the best. Man, buy some rings for home. There's one for anyone looking for a little bit more.
Yeah, you can do so much with rings. So underrated.
Dips on rings suck. That's a hard one.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Yep. Push-ups as well. Good for core stuff. I like them. And if you're badass,
The
you
old
can muscle up. But
yeah, like the old ring tucks where you like bring your knees up to your chest when your hands are on the floor for your core. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck, they're brutal.
Yeah, there's one
Absolutely
fair one.
brutal.
What to add for your home gym? Buy some rings.
Oh, I might buy a pair for the fucking gym actually.
Yeah, oh, they don't have any. They don't have a thingy like that.
Nah, no. But we're doing it. We're doing it. You heard it here first.
All right, Matty, send him a link. I feel like Matt's up for stuff. He likes new things,
Not
as
you,
long as
bro.
it's color coded.
He,
As long as it's color coded
yeah,
in the right colors to the gym.
yeah, they're fucking yeah. That's true actually. Oh, bro.
Good.
There
Well,
you
I'm gonna
go.
save. I'm
Good
gonna
app.
save my question. I'm gonna save my question for next week. It's too deep a dive. You don't get it yet.
Oh, damn it. That was a good
No,
app.
yeah, that was good. What are you calling it? The forgotten exercises.
Yeah, I forgot, mate. Just the hard shit, the underrated.
Yeah. I was just trying to think. Think of one more forgotten exercise that you like to add in.
Oh, JM press.
Oh, classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yep.
Classic. I do. I love a JM press. That's a fucking good
JM
one.
press is fucking. What else is there?
Man, I'm super basic. I even like a one leg squat.
I think they're very underrated.
Yeah.
I think they're very,
Quite
very underrated.
a little bit further down the what's important in a training program, but I think it's a good example of an exercise that doesn't take a lot to be able to do it, as well as time as well. That'll be my additional for people to give a spin.